These medieval feet sure conjure up the hardships that pilgrims endured 1,000 plus years ago on this journey. They faced the plague, were robbed for a stale piece of bread, were murdered for their paper-thin sandals. The Knights Templar guarded sections of the Camino, but there were no guarantees of safety. And once a pilgrim reached Santiago, they had to turn around and walk back home. I saw Lamborghini tractors, handcrafted walking staffs, and enjoyed meeting Spaniards, hunting for mushrooms, tending the pigs, living everyday lives, playing bagpipes, partying at fun and energetic celebrations. I stayed in the village of Atapuerca. Those of us with European ancestry have million-year-old cousins there, the very first Europeans. By the way, they were cannibals. Everyone asks about the food. There were snack stands on the trail and many shops in towns and villages. Specialty beans at about $7 per pound. A fresh market butcher working on a head of beef. Seafood, aging hams, festival food, and instead of pressed duck, how about pressed pork face? Empanadas and tapas, tapas and tapas. Delicious homemade goat cheese, freshly boiled octopus. Salads, soups, paella. Little piggies before and little piggies after the wood oven roast. Desserts. Candies. And $30 per pound chocolates. Yum. Everyone who walks is called a pilgrim or peregrino. The average age during my trek was mid-50s to late 60s. This man and his dog had already walked about 2,000 miles from Norway. Stopping at a guru's hut, perhaps seeking Camino enlightenment. Music, dancing, spirited communal meals, and lots of crazy laughs. A sinful climb to steal fruit. I met amazing and unique people from all over the world. The youngest was 7 from Korea, the oldest at 83 from Austria. Unfortunately, some pilgrims do experience setbacks or worse. Ill-fitting boots, backpacks too heavy, pounding out too many miles each day until a knee blows, an ankle swells, or painful blisters bubble up. I saw some pilgrims with so many bandages and wraps on their blisters you couldn't recognize their feet. You can do the Camino on horseback, by bicycle, or see a lot of it on an organized tour or by rental car. Once I arrived at an albergue or hostel where I thought I would spend the night, I would take off my boots, check in by paying the small fee, get my pilgrim passport stamped, and go claim my bunk. Always a top bunk for me. This was immediately followed by a hot shower, then relaxing in the lounge if there was one, chatting with other pilgrims, exploring the local scene, doing laundry. Some meditated, some read their Bible, like the Brazilian who had this bottom bunk. I stayed in monasteries and convents, often sleeping on mattresses or mats on the floor. My little corner for the night. Alfresco bunks were available too. In addition, I regularly checked into a private room in B&Bs, pensions, and hotels to escape those early morning laser light shows and the noise until at least 11 p.m. as pilgrims shuffled in from dinner. This idyllic B&B was converted from an old grain mill, and the creek flows under what is now the living room. Once my husband Jim met me in Santiago, we stayed in several delightful suites also. St. James, or Santiago, is depicted in two ways. One is a pilgrim, always wearing scallop shells on his chest, or his hat, or both. The other is a warrior on horseback, battling against the Muslims. Santiago's distinctive cross is seen regularly on the Camino, and the excitement mounts as one approaches the town and its fabled cathedral. And then I was there, in person, healthy, jubilant, and appreciative. I found the special pilgrim's office, submitted all my stamps, and received my official certificate of completion. I remembered North Bay, too. Inside the cathedral, I awed at the altar and the huge solid gold and bejeweled statue of St. James above the altar and his engraved silver coffin below. It was a magnificent journey. And my feet? They had not one blister. I was very grateful and very blessed.
Generous donors gave more than $30,000 to honor my walk. Those contributions went to North Bay's Center for Women's Health, where the funds will be used to help and assist women who cannot afford health care. Heartfelt thanks to all those who supported my walk and those who support women in need in Solano County. We're still accepting donations, and the following slide will have all the information you need